Welcome back to Reliable Sources. Let me show you a satirical headline from The New Yorker this week. Here's what it said. Total absence of information about Malaysia flight not hindering 24-hour coverage, cable networks say. That was Andy Borowitz's New Yorker column. Again, a satirical headline, but he's getting at something there that's important. Speculation, informed speculation, has been a big part of this story. In fact, I just asked Bob Hager to engage in it in the last segment. For a good reason, I think. Bob Hager knows more than almost anyone about how to cover major air disasters. But speculation tends to be a very dirty word in journalism. We're taught not to speculate. We're taught to stick to the facts as we know them. And I know CNN's come under some criticism this week for engaging in that kind of speculation. But let's be honest here. There are times when informed speculation moves a story forward. You take the few facts that you do have and you ask the real experts, like former NTSB officials or people who understand the complex equipment involved here. And these people help explain what the few clues we have might mean. If that's speculation, well, it's also a form of journalism. Maybe not the kind that everybody wants to see all the time on television, but a form of journalism nonetheless. So is this a situation that calls for speculation? Is it a situation that demands this kind of speculation? Joining me now, an expert in journalism and a man who has sat in the anchor chair here at CNN when news breaks, Frank Sesno, now the director of the George Washington University School of Media and Public Affairs. Frank, thanks for joining me. I wonder if there's a tension here between what journalism schools would teach and what journalism practitioners would say, because in journalism school, we would be taught never to report a rumor, that rumors are off limits. And yet, in this case, there have been rumors broadcast, and I, for one, have been glad they've been brought up. For example, I remember on Friday night of the first day of all of this, Piers Morgan mentioned rumors that the plane had landed in Vietnam, but he made very clear those rumors were unconfirmed. So he was sharing what was on the internet, sharing what was being talked about, but trying to tamp down that speculation by saying it was unconfirmed. Well, is that an example of the tension here between practice and reality?
Yes. I mean, in the not so old days, we would have said never report a rumor. But in the old days when we were never reporting a rumor, there weren't social media rumors being reported all the time. And
right.
So this merger of old media and old ethics and new ethics in journalism is a collision. I remember when I was working for this network and John F. Kennedy Jr.'s plane went down. I was at home minding my own business. I got a call, come into the bureau. They said, go on. It was a record for me. I think I went 4.5 hours without getting up to go to the bathroom. We had no information, but we were wall to wall with this, and we had to do that. The audience wanted it. The audience expected it of CNN, and we had to be very careful. It's what I call the language of live. When you are live on the air with very limited information, but you have to deal with it. Well, now you have to deal with the information, the rumor, the speculation that's coming literally from around the world in real time.
Right, this parallel universe of information that's going to be online whether we like it or not. I feel like on television we can at least try to separate facts from what might be fiction.
That's right, but here's what you have to do when you're on television doing that. You have to say, I'm now separating fact from fiction. You have to say, here's what we know. These are the 3 facts we know. Here are the 15 speculative theories we don't know, but we're going to investigate them and we're going to discuss them because this is what investigators are looking at. This is what people are asking us. This is what we're hearing in social media because we know people wonder about this. And this
almost
is
like a warning label on the coverage.
That's exactly, yeah, right. Surgeon General, right? So yeah, it's difficult, but it's important and it's happening.
Take me back to those times when you were in that anchor chair on breaking news stories, because to me, it seems like breaking news coverage is more raw, it's more honest, because the anchor is experiencing it with the viewer in real time. What's that pressure like? You talk about the language of live.
It's really very difficult, and you have to know this, and you have to understand your responsibility, obviously, to the audience, but also the nature of the story itself. And I think the most important thing when you're sitting in that chair, and it's tough, is to keep in your head what you know, what you don't know, what's a legitimate question, and what's a wild out there question, and how you bring the audience into that process so that you're sorting through that. All right, so in the case of this jet, was it terrorism? Was it a lithium-ion battery in the back that blew it out? Was the oxygen down so that everybody lost consciousness? How long did it fly? Did it crash in the ocean? Did it land on an island someplace? Is it still out there? Some of these questions are way out there, and I think what you have to do when you're sitting in that chair, when you're bringing the audience along with you, is be very transparent about it and bring them into that questioning process really directly so they're part of it.
People have been talking about the type of coverage, in this case a lot of speculation, but also the amount of coverage. CNN has been basically wall-to-wall with this story for over a week now. The ratings have been significantly higher than they usually are for CNN, which tells me viewers do care deeply about this story. But is there such a thing as too much coverage of a story like this?
Yes, yes, there is. And
are we there yet? Are we getting to that point?
Maybe. This is where this is the rub. This is the tension. This is the conflict. It's what you say, it's how you say it, it's how much you say it, and it's how loud you say it. And we call that proportionality. And the big danger in cable television, and the big danger always confronting CNN, and it's confronted CNN since CNN went on the air and started doing 24/7 news, is how loud to shout, how much to do this, how much breaking news is really breaking news, and how you convey to your audience, this is a huge story, everybody's really interested in it, we're going to live on this, we're going to go 24/7, wall to wall with this. I remember, again, I'm dating myself, I guess, but when we had the O.J. Simpson trial, and we went wall to wall with that, that was the first time that CNN really discovered in a powerful way that the audience wants wall to wall coverage and rewards that with huge numbers. When you know your audience wants that, that's a balance then you have to walk.
And of course, the O.J. Simpson trial was a mystery, but of a very different kind. Court cases are mysteries, just like this is a mystery right now, unfolding before our eyes.
I think, Brian, that's so important for us to realize that what we've got here and why this story is so compelling. There is unbelievable human interest and human concern. Tragedy, 239 souls somewhere lost, we don't know. There is the aviation story. There is the national security story. There is the terrorism story, if there's that. There's the aviation story. We all fly. Everybody. I sat down yesterday for breakfast here in New York City, and I'm talking to a guy who has nothing to do with the news business, and he starts telling me what he thinks happened because he's got some interest in aviation, and he flies.
Right.
So
right.
That story, that mystery connects on all these very compelling levels.
Going back to our original point about speculation, do you think there are times where it can be damaging, where it can hurt the credibility of the news business? Because that's ultimately what this comes back to.
Speculation is very dangerous because if you speculate wildly, you appear to be irresponsible. You can be irresponsible. You can fuel undue concerns, undue panic. You can fuel misinformation. And then in the journalistic world, you will be and you should be accountable for that. But speculation can also be smart speculation, informed speculation. You're an investigator, I'm the show host, and I'm asking you, take me into this investigation. You've been in similar things like this or you've not. What's likely to be happening? That's a question that everyone is asking. By definition, that's a speculative question. But someone can provide some informed guidance or speculation as to what's taking place, the questions that are being asked and answered. I think that's really important, and that's what an audience wants to know. Again, you're in this dangerous time, right? Between when something's happened and when you know what actually happened. And, you know, the investigation is going on during that time. Investigators are speculating. That's what investigation is.
Well, Frank, thank you so much for joining me and talking through this with me.
It's my pleasure.